TIFU by getting my son expelled from kindergarten, by userallahu_chu. Prelude edit. Since this gained traction, I wanted to add a little more. It seems I mischaracterized my kick, as it was more sticking my foot out to put distance between him and my son. Nonetheless, there was a decent collision and he was knocked down. Some people are stuck on the smear campaign I mentioned. I don't have an arrest record, and I could find hundreds of character referrals for myself, both professionally and personally. The narrative that I am violent and unstable, though without context it may certainly seem so, is without merit and was designed to force the school to act, which was the basis for my son's expulsion. It would make sense to not want a dangerous man around children, if that were actually the case. Others seem to think that I feel what I did was okay. It's not, and I've said so numerous times. Sometimes things happen and I'm ready to accept whatever comes my way. I'm not dodging accountability. I retained counsel after the incident for two reasons. First, of course, if anything should come my way from this, whether criminally or civilly, but it seems unlikely as these people don't like involving outside entities into their business. Secondly, to see if there is any recourse against the school. For this reason, I'm not going to name and shame as some people here have suggested. There is CCTV everywhere, including the pickup area and playground. My attorneys have requested it. We'll see how that plays out. Also, we all do what we feel is best for our children, so fuck the people making private school comments and insinuating that somehow we all deserve to be in this situation because of where we chose to put our son. As for the bully's family, they have similar means to us and to my knowledge haven't donated any more money than we have. I don't know the parents personally, but something tells me I will eventually. Something also tells me the parents are going to be much like their son. My wife is mad for several reasons, obviously. She's not wild about what I did, but also that this is affecting other parts of our lives. Since this has happened, she's been side-eyed at the grocery store, getting coffee, basically anywhere she runs into parents from the school. She is embarrassed, mad at the school, mad at my reaction, and mad everyone's reaction as well. I don't blame her a bit. The fallout from this will most likely be far-reaching. My wife and I had a talk with our son, first about why he can't go back to his school. I took all the responsibility and he is very upset about it. I haven't told him that I probably can't be his baseball coach anymore. He understands what I did, and why it was wrong, but also thanked me a few days later when we were talking about it. We've turned this into a teaching moment for him. About how he did everything he could by talking to us, and it was me who failed him. We also talked about the appropriate response to things like this and how what I did wasn't okay. There is a contingent of parents rallying around us, some publicly, others in private, but they are in the minority. I feel like I'm learning who our friends really are, which I guess is a silver lining to this debacle. Lastly, we're not moving. This may be a defiant stance by me, but I'm not going to let this be any more of a disruption that it's already been. We've been in the neighborhood for a decade, our house is paid off, and I'm not going to let the way people perceive something drive us away from the life we've built. The public school we're zoned to is a good one, and it will be fine. A boy in my son's class has been a known bully to a few others in their class. There have been incidents of this boy choking other kids with his hands around their necks, picking up sand in the playground and rubbing it in unsuspecting kids' faces, pushing kids down the playground slide, and just overall tormenting by random punches to the arms and shoulders. My son came home and told me about the choking incident and I was concerned. Then I heard from other parents stories of how their children has been victims of this. Then one day my son's demeanor changed. He was irritable, angry, and throwing tantrums at every little thing. We were shocked by this because he's usually pretty chill and goes with the flow. Through some interrogation I found out that he has been the victim, this little tyrant, and has been hitting him randomly throughout the day for a while. I don't know if it's just a quick jab and it never gets noticed by the teacher or what, but I believe him because of this child's known history. I emailed the teacher about the situation and let her know that I knew of other things that had happened surrounding this particular student. She said that she hadn't seen anything but that she would keep an eye out, not confirming or denying the other situations I referenced. This boy's behavior didn't change and he has consistently been hitting my son. At this point, and after talking with other parents some more, I am extremely distraught about this. Now comes the foo. At pickup every day there is a drive-through pickup line, and a place to grab your kid when they are released on the side. There is a big lawn where they are released and there are lots of parents who stand and talk at pickup after the kids are out. This allows the kids a little extra time to play and get some energy out. While I am there talking with a mom from my son's class, I glance across the lawn and see this boy swat my son in the back of the head. It wasn't friendly and it certainly wasn't called for. My son turns around with a pained look, holding the back of his head, and the boy pushes him down. I excused myself from my conversation and started walking to my son, who at this point has gotten up and started running in my direction with this other boy hot on his trail. He's basically being hunted. My son runs into me, face first into my belly. I wrapped my arms around my son, look up, and the boy is still running at him, and I kicked him. I put the sole of my shoe right in his chest. Not really hard, not this is Sparta style, but enough to knock him back and on his ass. Call it instinct, an unconscious motion, or whatever you want. I honestly don't even know if I meant to do it or not, it just happened. This was in front of about 100 people. Immediately I'm swarmed by parents asking what the fuck is wrong with me, why would I kick a child, etc. I only spent about 15 seconds trying to explain before I realized that this was a futile effort. I quickly get my son's bag and we walk to the car. By the time we get home, the principal has called my wife and is on the phone when I walk in. My wife is disgusted and mortified, and honestly so am I. It wasn't an okay thing to do, and it just happened hasn't been an acceptable excuse. Later that week, we were called into administration and told that they had no choice but to expel my son, admittedly through no fault of his own. There was a parent-led petition to get this done, in addition to a smear campaign against me calling me violent and unstable. This is a private school, so there really isn't due process or whatever you would find in the public school system. It's a money and politically driven system, though I don't know if even building them a new science building would get me out of this one. If it wasn't bad enough, this has affected lots of other things, because I'm my son's baseball coach too, and this has gotten around our league. My wife is beside herself and I don't even want to get into how that's going to play out. So this is where we are. My son will need a new school for the fall, my reputation in the community and neighborhood is shot, and my marriage is now probably in major jeopardy. All for a bully. TLDR, I kicked my son's bully in the chest in front of a crowd of people and now he's not welcome back at school and I'm a pariah. Edit, so I guess I need to clear some things up. 1. The all for a bully at the end wasn't meant to mean all because of a bully. I'm taking responsibility for my actions, I was obviously wrong. 2. I didn't go into detail about my communication with the school about this issue. My wife and I met with the teacher 11 days before this happened. In that meeting it was reiterated that she has not witnessed what I was describing. I did not meet with any administrative people, but I CC'd the principal on the email I sent to the teacher after our meeting, recapping what we had talked about. I probably should have met with the brass, but hindsight is 20/20. TIFU by saying that I feel bad that a girl got killed by her father, by Uzurksranjais. For some background, I live in Iraq, a mostly Muslim country. Today I was with my family watching TV and there was a news about a dad killing his daughter because she was previously caught with a guy and the guy and his friends raped her and threw her from a balcony on the second floor. When I heard that I was shocked. How can someone kill their daughter in that way? And I said it out loud. Then my own dad started yelling at me for an hour saying how can I sympathize with her and that I should never show affection towards that kind of action, and he became super mad at me. Then my mother joined in to say the exact same thing, so now both of them are yelling at me saying how can I show affection towards someone that is unpure, and how would I like if my sister had sex with someone. I did not say anything more because how can people not feel anything towards a human soul that has been killed because she had sex? TLDR, my dad is mad at me because I felt bad that a girl got killed by her dad because she was raped. Update, thanks everyone for your support, you have no idea how much it means. I cried while reading some of your replies. And I tried my best to thank everyone, but the post has blown up and I don't think I can keep up, but just know that your words truly helped me. Update 2, here is a link for the people that don't believe the story is real. https://www.ruda.net/english/kurdistan/170420242. TIFU by asking a man for sex, I'm a straight guy, by user Slade797. Happened a few days ago. I was on my way to meet a guy I know just slightly to give him a few items for his business. As I was leaving work, I used talk to text to let him know I was on my way. I was listening to the radio, and my phone picked up a few words that included for sex. I didn't realize this, and told Siri to send it. I read the message when I parked at the meeting spot, and I noticed the bad grammar as well as the sexual proposition. I immediately texted him and apologized. When the guy arrived, he was red in the face from laughing, and I joined him in this. I'm not worried about you thinking I'm gay and attracted to you, I said. I am concerned that you might think I have bad grammar skills. He's a lovely person, and this turned into a great laugh for both of us, so maybe it's not a fuck up. TLDR, I accidentally propositioned a man for sex in a text message. I'm a straight man. TIFU by showing my coworker a photo of my tits, by user Paylacore friend. I'm in a long-distance relationship and my breasts have become huge due to hormone changes lately and I sent my boyfriend a photo of them this morning. Today at work I had to take portraits of a newish staff member for the website and showed her the photos I'd taken. Swiping through to shortlist the ones she liked best, I forgot about the photo and swiped onto a photo of my face with my tits out. I apologized and laughed about it. She seemed to just find it funny. I told my manager because I knew she would get a laugh out of it and to get ahead of any possible HR complaint. The CO worker was chill about it but couldn't keep a straight face whenever she saw me today. It was an honest mistake but didn't really anticipate showing the newest hire my nudes. It's one hell of an onboarding process. TLDR, took a pic of my tits this morning and forgot, had to take photos of staff member for the website and swiped on it as I was showing her the photos I'd taken of her. TIFU by not picking my kid up for school and going to work instead, by user Withasan Risa. My son asked for a ride to school after lunch. I said no, he could walk the 10 minutes and I'd go back to work. He called me to say the dog was following him to school. I told him she does that sometimes, but she'll walk home once he's inside. A few minutes later, he calls me panicking that some older kids let the dog into the school, and she was running all over and wouldn't listen to him. By the time I got to the school, the principal had the dog by the collar and was kicking her out. I've now learned that she took a shit in the hallway, and a student stepped in it. My son is having a full-blown panic attack, and I am just waiting for an angry call from the school. We live in a super small town, and my other kid, who is abroad, sent me a text because she already heard about this whole thing. It happened less than 20 minutes ago. TLDR, dog followed my kid into the school, shenanigans ensued, I might need to move.